Okay, so I'm bored, so I thought I'd make a video that might help my area someday in the future. I guarantee it won't ever be in my lifetime, but who knows, maybe somebody will watch this and actually think, you know what, that makes sense, and might actually accept my proposal. So I thought, why not make somewhat of kind of like a funny video, like a proposal video for the rich, for the super rich, for the super powerful that live in this area of Manhattan. And that is, move the city. Make this area like a Troy, New York. A giant Troy, New York. Like all the buildings here can, one by one, eventually be torn down, scrapped, rebuilt somewhere else. It might seem impossible. It might seem absolutely unfeasible in every way, shape, or form. But when you put into consideration that your city is falling off the map into the ocean, and allegedly the city is spending trillions of dollars to keep the city from not sinking into the ocean, it actually might seem more feasible to move the city, or, well, move the buildings to other cities. So for an example, I'll show you the other cities that desperately need help right now. And if you were to build here, it would only make New York better, I think. I'm gonna show the cities, and then I'm gonna go over the pros and the cons. Actually, first off, I'm gonna say I think the super rich should be right here in this triangle. This is a triangle of cities: Oneida, Rome, Utica. And if you were to build up Oneida and make Rome and Utica bigger as well, if you were to make these three areas like a Syracuse, this would be one mega city. And the thing about the city is, you can still ship all your goods up the river. I mean, sometimes the river is completely dried out, and they have to work on it, but it doesn't take long for them to dig it out and make the water there again. They can even make it wider. There's a lot of work that could be done to make this place better. But my thing is, I think that the best part about this area is that you're right in the centerfold of New York State. So for an example, most rich people in New York City, they own places all over New York. So when they go to travel, they have to get a helicopter or a plane just because some of these places are just too far away to drive. And it's not feasible for their backs to hire a driver to drive them all the way down the thruway to, let's say, Buffalo, to, let's say, some skyscraper that they own over here. It's not feasible. They'd have to take a plane. They have to take a helicopter. That could take a lot of money. That's super risky. That is super risky. You're safer in a Cybertruck. You're way safer in a Cybertruck with a driver driving you. Way safer. And in the center of New York, you could drive anywhere you want within 4 or 5 hours. No more than 5 hours, I'd say. Over here somewhere, maybe it's 6 hours, but I don't even count this area because it's just so far. And I'm sure some rich people own stuff out here, but it's just not like the rest of New York, where there's just so much potential out here. There's so much land, there's so much space, there's so much farmland, there's so much state land. And that's another thing I thought, the state land, a ton of rich people live up here. Specifically in this area right here, the Old Forge area. I bet at least half of the mansions in this area are owned by people that visit New York City all the time or live in New York City. So it's very believable that if that's their vacation home, if that's one of their vacation homes, living near it might not be such a bad thing, especially if they rebuilt these cities and made them very, very beautiful. It wouldn't be such a bad thing to live here. You got a giant lake. You don't have the ocean, but who cares about the ocean? You're sinking into the ocean. The ocean is terrifying. The ocean floods all the time and takes you all away. It will kill you all. You could be in the most expensive skyscraper ever, and if the right tsunami hits you, you're all going to die. Another thing, if Russia decides to attack, all they have to do is float a little submarine over here with some nukes in it, and Google Maps won't even see it. It could sit there for years before anybody would even notice it, and they could just launch an attack whenever they want. I mean, for all we know, there's already something like that over here. There could already be nuclear submarines over here. They would be a lot safer in, let's say, the center of New York. That's why I don't understand, why aren't the super rich over here? There are a lot of rich people in Rome and Oneida. It seems like they are starting to flood in, but it's not like I imagine it should have been years ago. It just doesn't make sense, besides for the fact that the crime rate is so high. You would have to fund the police first, then build all the buildings. I mean, it'd be a lot of work. It would be a lot of work. You would have to scrap a lot of stuff from New York City. Let's say if Rockefeller wanted to move up north, he could do it. He's got the money. He could scrap everything in these buildings. He could demolish them. Whatever's left, the cheap, whatever. I mean, he don't even have. No, he couldn't even. You know what? He wouldn't even have to demolish anything. They're so advanced at tearing stuff down. They could literally scrap the whole building and bring it to Utica, New York. It'd probably take 20 years, but they could get it done. They could easily get it done. This is a giant, massive area right here. If he wanted to live in Utica, it could be done, and it would make Utica so much better. Or if he wanted to, let's say if he wanted to buy some land like right here and put it right here, this whole area right here. Let's say Hecla. Hecla is so stupid. It's such a dead white trash area. Every time I drive through it, I'm scared. And I'm thinking, you know, it'd be so nice. It'd be so nice if we could just turn this into a city. It'd be so nice. It's a triangle city. So, I'm not saying anything about Illuminati or crazy stuff like that, but, you know, the pyramid's on the back of the dollar bill, and the triangle is used in a lot of symbols, and just a triangle is strong. It's seen as a very very special shape. It's a very special shape. Let's just put it like that. And if we were to build up this triangle city, which it's not even a city yet, but someday it might be. If we were to build this up, it would be a very massive, beautiful place. Now, I saw photos. If you look up old Rome, New York, and if you look hard enough, you'll see old photos of Rome, New York being a massive city with skyscrapers. Now, I'm pretty sure this was like an AI-generated thing. Some guy wanted to see what would it look like if this was a big city. And I thought it was great. I thought it was a perfect perspective of what the city should be like in the future. If we start using our brains and start spreading out our people more, you know, there's less carbon in your city. There'll be less crime, more oxygen. You'll be able to get out of the city quicker because there's less traffic. I mean, there's so many reasons to build here and come here instead. There's no reasons to be in New York. New York is a shit. New York has more crime. New York is scary. New York, they have fluoride in the water. New York. Just New York. Just say New York. I mean, they got a beautiful park. They have the Hudson River. They have an ocean, but like I said, the ocean's scary. The Hudson River smells and is dirty. You don't want to swim in it. You'd be scared to jump in it. There's dead bodies floating down it from Albany. Actually, probably from Troy, New York. That's probably like the worst town in all of New York. The park itself, I've been to the park. There are dead bums all over the park, and there are wild dogs. So it's unfeasible to stay in New York, in my opinion. It would make more sense to come to a place like Syracuse, which is already a big city, or Rome, Oneida, Utica, and build here instead. Now, another thing I thought of is, if you're afraid of nuclear missiles, it'd probably take, let's say 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, for a nuclear missile to come from a submarine to get to central New York. That's more than enough time for you to get in your car and get the fuck out of here and go to the Adirondacks. And the Adirondacks is where you could have your beautiful big mansion, and you'd feel safe. That's where you could bug out. Why wouldn't you want to live closer to that? Why wouldn't you want to live somewhere where you can get out of the city without getting killed by bad people in traffic, bad guys in traffic, who just want who want your expensive vehicles and all your money? Because that's what happens when shit hits the fan. What do you think happens? The rich people try to leave the city and they get mugged. They get shot. They get killed. I almost got killed because I was driving in a red car in New York City and some crip freaking out on me. Thought I was in the Bloods or something. I got a little close to his car. I'll admit, I was touching the white line, and I maybe almost did hit him, but he was freaking out. He was like, "You almost hit me, blah, blah, blah. You trying to fight? I'll take you out, blah, blah, blah." I was like, I didn't know what he was saying. I couldn't really understand, but I got scared. I rolled up the window. I was like, "Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry." And I rolled up the window. That's all I said to him. And he sped off going like 100 miles per hour. So clearly he wasn't afraid of any accidents. He was just trying to start beef with the guy in the red car. That's what you guys have to deal with over here. I don't understand it. Why you would want to risk that? Why? It doesn't make any sense. All that drama, all the noise, all the drugs. And we got drugs too, so if you're a drug addict, you know, you could come up here, do your drugs here. I'm not saying do drugs illegally, but I'm saying if you had legal options, you could do them up here. And, you know, it's not really different besides for the fact there's way less people begging for money. There's way less people trying to mug you. There's way less people trying to attack you in every single way. And, you know, I want to go on about other cities, too. It's not just CNY. It's not just CNY. CNY would be a perfect place for super rich people. But there's also other cities that need to be built up. Watertown. Messina. Where is it? Messina, New York. It looks like Ogdensburg. And there's also, down here, is Oswego and Fulton. Those are also classified as cities. Geneva, where's Geneva? Somewhere over here. Auburn as well. Where's Geneva? Oh, I really like Geneva. Geneva's a really beautiful one. There's also Binghamton. Binghamton's great for Italians. Has a little Italy. This would be a great spot for super rich Italians to come to and build skyscrapers or build anything at all. Help us out. We're the little guys up north. You can help us. Where else? Salmonaca used to be a city too, but this is for Native Americans. So if you're a super rich Native American, this might be a fantastic spot for you to build, because this is still classified as a city. And if you build here, you can make the first Native American actual city, like an actual city, like a bigger population, skyscrapers, you know, something cool. You have to get permission from Seneca, obviously, but I bet if you're Native and you're super rich, they'll let you build somewhere over here. Where else? Jamestown. Did I just glitch out? What the hell's going on? Okay. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls used to be way better. It has a subway tunnel system that they admit. Utica and other cities probably do too, but they won't admit it. Niagara Falls, they admit. There's a photo of the old track line, and I don't think there's any access to it anymore, but I believe here in the basement there might be something. So if you're super rich and you like opening up subway tunnels, you might be able to buy this place and just open it up, fix it up. It's probably rotting, it's going to collapse soon, and people might die because of it. That reminds me, bring you back to Utica, New York. We actually had a collapse over here on Oriskany Street, and this is right where we had the old Erie Canal. And in the photos of them, in the photos of them filling it in, it actually looks like they didn't fill it in. It looks like they just put two walls up and then put a roof over it. So there might actually still be an Erie Canal under here. We could maybe turn this into a subway tunnel. This could be our first subway tunnel if it wasn't already. I doubt that they could hide such a thing, so I don't think it ever was, but for all we know, there could be some secret tunnel under here. We could rebuild New York. New York was considered the Empire State for a reason. Oh yeah, I can't forget Plattsburgh, by the way. Plattsburgh is a great college town out in the Adirondacks. If you like Adirondacks and colleges, this would be the place for you. If you're super rich and you're sick and tired of all the bums and terrorists and psychos attacking you all the time, this would be the place to go. So where else? I think Saratoga Springs, Glen Falls. These are all areas that could be much bigger. Amsterdam, Jamestown, Gloversville area, Little Falls, Herkimer, Mohawk, Ilion, Frankfurt. Now, this never was a city right here that I know of, but it definitely could be. Any super rich person could come here and turn it into a city overnight and gentrify this place and get rid of all the scumbags. All these people can be forced to go live in New York, where it's about to fall off the map. That's where they belong. All the poor people who don't own property. Or all the poor people who aren't related to anybody who own property. Because, obviously some people don't own property, but they're related to somebody who does, and they won't ever let them leave. For example, I own a home. I love my family. I would never kick them out. But, there's a lot of people around here that need to be kicked out, and kicking them out could really fix up the state. It could help the economy. It could help society as a whole, and morally, ethically. It could help society. It could do a lot of good for our state. Now, I know a lot of New Yorkers are considering just making New York City its own state. So some of you might not give a shit about that at all. You might think, fuck Upstate. Hack Upstate. They even say there's a tech garden in Syracuse. They say hack Upstate. There's a building here. Somewhere inside the building in the tech garden, it says hack Upstate. You can see it on Google Maps. And that's just what they do when they come up here. They hack us. They scam us. They sell drugs to us. They destroy our properties. They don't ever rebuild anything. We got people from Great Britain coming here starting manufacturing facilities like Wolfspeed. They're all the way from Great Britain. You think New York City would come up here and build, but no, they don't. They don't. They come up here to sell their drugs and get rid of their gangsters in our prison systems. So anyways, that was me Shark Tanking to try to convince the rich to come up here. They could build tunnels. They could build everything. We could rebuild New York. We could rebuild. Thank you, and I love you if you watch this all. Please consider coming up here. We could all be one big family. One big happy family. Thank you for watching.